ovations to everyone in the collective. I hope I found y'all possibly in the house, nice, cozy, and warmed up. For all of you that have cuddle buddies, husbands, wives, people that you love, that you are keeping warm and safe and protected with in the house while everybody is going through this whole winter storm thing. Kyan, no, take that in there. You can go and play in there. Yeah, must be nice. I sure wish I had me a nice little something to cuddle up with, somebody lovely. Anyways, that's besides the point, collective. I just pray that I found y'all in good energy. So we're gonna go ahead and get into another live energy read here. So with this one, I pulled from my Threads of the Soul deck. I love this deck. It has really drawn a lot of it has really piqued my interest, okay? So let's talk about the tale of the overall energy was the broken healer, okay? The card at the bottom, which is the underlying energy or the energy that the broken healer needs to get through and or get to the end result or the end goal, would technically be the warrior here. And the reason for that, and then we'll go over what we pulled are the challenges here, what's standing in the way, what the broken healer is facing in order to get to this warrior energy. And then the end result, though, as I should say, is, the phoenix's rise. So from death comes rebirth, being born anew again from the ashes. The ashes can be considered the healer's pain, you know. So in the paradigm of being a healer, any type of healer, right? A healer, ultimately, they heal people. However, they are called to heal people, right? And it can be in many various different ways, okay? But a healer also heals themselves. They don't heal themselves by their own energy. They heal themselves as they heal others, okay? So if you are a type of person where you like to see the joy in people, and you see that a lot of people can't find themselves, let alone the joy within themselves, the joy in their life, the positive in their life. As a healer, like one kind of healer would be a person that points out the positive aspects in a person, points out the good attributes in a person, points out the solutions instead of the problems, puts a smile on people's face, you know, like they like to see, like, it brings joy to this type of healer's heart in order to see people in joyous energy or to put others in joyous energy. That seeing that on other people, okay, it heals the healer. Okay, this is one way that healers heal themselves. Okay, with every person that they come across, they help to heal. That is healing enough for the healer, right? But at the same time, I really feel like if we talk about divine unions and we talk about the different type of archetypes or whatever, like the different type of paradigms of divine unions and couples and stuff like that. If one of the person, divine masculine or feminine, was a healer, right, or is a healer, then their counterpart would not be the same thing like a healer, okay? They would be a warrior, somebody that would protect the healer, protect their heart, protect them from any type of, protect them from becoming the victim of people who like to abuse the healer's gifts here, okay? I have also found that a lot of people that abuse healers, they are fully aware that those people are healers. They are fully aware of it in one way or another, even if they don't think of it, that person being a healer in a magical or spiritual sense. They are very fully aware that this healer type of energy, they are very fully aware that this is a person who operates out of the heart space, who operates out of compassion, who sees people with compassionate heart and eyes, you know, like, and finds joy in other people's joy here. But a lot of the times, especially in the type of terrible programming that we went through, collective, a lot of healers, they don't have people to protect them, to heal them, to instill or pour back into them that joy, that happiness, that compassion here. And a lot of times we would think that that's the, like, maybe that's how it was manufactured to be or organically manufactured to be, but that's not true, because That's not true. It's more so that when a healer encounters people that wants to abuse them and their healing gifts and abilities, those people will siphon from and drain that healer, and they will isolate that healer to make sure that that healer never comes across others like them, or a warrior that is meant to protect them, to protect the vulnerable parts of them. Because when again, and we think in terms of energy. Every time I get to go do a recording, we just gonna let him do what it do. So, but when we think of terms in terms of energy, right? In order to heal somebody, if you have healing gifts or abilities, and this could be through the gift of speech, touch, hug, compassion, gift giving, this could be anything, right? A healer really has to open themselves up, their energetic field up. They have to open themselves up in a manner that allows for the unhealed person to accept the healer's energy, and the healer to absorb that unhealed person's energy and transmute that energy into a more healed energy, whether it be for that person or they just reabsorb or absorb that transmuted energy. Okay, so healers typically go through a lot of isolation here. They typically go through a lot of finger pointing, a lot of ridicule, a lot of not just being outcasted, but being separated from the world because of their ability to be so very, when you're sensitive, you're very vulnerable here. That's why warrior spirits, a warrior counterpart, is needed. Okay, a warrior counterpart, this doesn't have to be a masculine or feminine. This could be someone with just a very strong protective energetic shield. The energetic shield would magnify or even wrap itself around the healer to allow the healer time to not be forcibly, because it is almost a forcible act when you have the healing or ability of healing. It is almost like a forcible act when you come around people that are very pained, that are very tortured, that are very unhealed, that are very wounded for many different reasons. Like, as a healer, it's almost like you can't turn it off. You can't help but to open yourself up and just want to embrace that person and just hug all their problems away, make all their problems go away. This is the downside to being a healer. You really can't turn it off. And even when you get to the point where people mistreat, misuse, and abuse your healing abilities here, you still can't turn it off. You still can't bring yourself to become the damaged, the wounded, the trauma bonded, the low vibrational, evil, despicable type of energies that do this shit for a living and find it to be fun here. So therefore, most healers come with the warrior, and then with the warrior being the type of protective shield here, not just for the healer, but for themselves and for others as well, right? This will be a protector spirit. This will be a leader spirit, somebody that embodies the essence of, they don't have to be an air sign here or a king of swords, but this would just be somebody who stands for what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And if they have to, it's like they're going to stand on whatever it is that they say. And not only that, they're going to have the backing for that. This would be like the paradigm or the energy of the warrior here. Okay. But the warrior also ends up wounded in their circumstances too. So the healer, energetic wise, exchanging energy in this type of union here, the healer would heal the warrior as the warrior protects the healer's abilities to heal, right? It is an even exchange, an even and equal exchange in this type of dynamic here. Okay. So the healer typically, in this sense, what I'm feeling like is the healer energies out there in the collective. If you are this type of person here, you have faced more darkness than anything, right? But you're able to heal this darkness in you. You're able to heal the darkness no matter how much you absorb from others. You're able to transmute that into light, therefore magnifying your healing abilities. But there's no turning off or on. So you will come across a lot of people that abuse, not, they know you're a healer of some type, and they will abuse you in a manner and then isolate you because they never want you to come into contact with the warrior, the protective shield, okay? For the protective shield that is meant to pair with you, okay? And you for them. Because then you have the warrior energy being the protective shield, it would kind of act as a shut off valve, like an emergency shut off valve, right? Or cut off valve, or blocking valve, or a dam, so to speak. So when I said that being a healer, the downside to being a healer is not being able to almost cut it off, or not being able to pick and choose who it is that you want to heal, or you know, it just is inevitable. It is a force field that you almost cannot fight against. The warrior, the protective shield, it would act as an emergency shut off valve for when you are so vulnerable to the point, or where you are so broken as the healer that you can't even grasp the time, the opportunity, the space, the energy that you need in order to heal yourself. Because even being a healer, healers can come to a demise. You can be a healer, a loving, compassionate person in that respect, right? To a detriment, right? And this is because people like that, who live out of the heart space, who just love. You just can't help but to love people. With all their faults, all their flaws, you just can't help but to love them, and you love the ugliest part of them, right? And you just can't help it. But it is to a detriment, to the point, it'll get to the point where those people, not all, but some, they will use you up until you get to the point in a certain energetic state where you are no longer, where you no longer have the willpower or the energy in order to heal yourself, okay? And these type of people, the users, the abusers, the tormentors and stuff, they like to and it's not just energy vampires, but they like to isolate the healer. They love to isolate the healer. They never want you to come into contact with a warrior's type of energetic spirit here. Okay? There's something here about time. Only time will tell. I love these cards, but it's the ticking clock here. The ticking clock of darkness here. We have the dark forest here. We can consider the dark night of the forest, the dark forest to be the dark night of the soul, right? As a healer, and with the natural ability of being a healer of whatever kind, right? With not okay, if the healer does not have the warrior, the healer will go through many dark nights of the soul, or they will absorb whoever they come into contact with. They will absorb that person's, like, the worst of their dark nights of the soul. Things that would be unbearable for that person to actually make it through that dark night and heal. The healer coming into contact with that person and even ushering them into the dark forest, the dark night of the soul, they would absorb the worst parts of, like, the deepest, darkest shadows of that person to allow it to be bearable enough for that person to heal. Okay, but over time, like I said, a healer doesn't have a shut-off valve. Without the warrior, the healer will continue to absorb the dark energy, and even if they're transmuting it, it's almost like the healer's heart. If the heart would be the center of the healer, because it definitely is showing a heart here. The heart would be the center of the healer, what it operates from mainly, where its healing abilities come from here. The heart will become so toxic and poisonous to the healer, right? And this would cause the healer to start okay? I'm also getting reverse engineering with this scenario here, so that can be significant. But it would. Okay, another scenario. Generational curse breaker. That's the type of healer. A healer that is meant to do everything different from the generations before them. They're meant to break the generational curses, which means that they are typically called upon to take on the bulk of that family's darkness, the unhealed parts of them, the wounds, the trauma, the karma, the everything, right? And they are supposed to do the opposite. They go against the grain. They are usually counted out, okay? That's a generational curse breaker. It's a type of healer, okay? Or you have certain healing abilities, right? And because you were chosen to be a generational curse breaker, there's no shut-off valve. However, there will be people in your family that know that you are very, very different from the rest of them. And they know that some of them are very much so aware of what a generational curse breaker is, and that you probably wear the hat, the crown of, or fit the description of a generational curse breaker here. And so these particular people that are aware of this in your bloodline, in your family, that are close to you, they will constantly do karmic shit. They will constantly do low vibrational things. They will constantly do negative things, not just in their life, but to you as well. One of their main goals, right, is to keep you isolated from you ever coming into connection with a warrior spirit. This could be your soul tribe, your soul family, your actual star family. This could be a person. This could be a union here. This could be anything that will be considered the warrior, right? Any energy can embody the warrior spirit, okay? It doesn't, the relationship doesn't have to be a certain way, or the connection, or a certain type of relationship. It can be many different type of ways wherever the warrior comes from, right? So they will isolate the healer, right? They will make sure that the healer takes on all their karma. They keep them in the family. They keep you in arm's length enough to make you think that you are loved, just by giving you a little bit of love. Because mind you, as a healer type of energy, a generational curse breaker is a type of healer. As a healer, them faking the funk with you, them faking their love for you, them faking their smiles and happiness, like they're healing, or like they're happy for you. That to you, you think you're healing. The healer would think that they're healing to see the smiles on the fake family member's face, not realizing that person is fake, and they're only pretending enough with the healer energy of the generational curse breaker in order to stay close to them, right? To not seem toxic, to not seem poisonous, right? To stay close to them, to keep dumping off their trauma and their karma that they keep accumulating onto the healer, but also keeping the healer in a sense that they need not look any further than family, because obviously this is my family, obviously, and this is just one generational curse breakers by way of the healer here. But obviously my family, they would see how different I am from them, and they would see and appreciate, how I can be all love and light, or how I can be very positive about things, and how I'm very upbeat and uplifting. And surely someone in my family, they will love me just as much as I see the love in them, see the best parts of them. And they are surely, somebody in my family surely is a protector, right? But these are fakers. These are people very shape-shifting energy vampires even. People that want to keep the karma, they want to keep the healer isolated from looking outside of the fake family or friend structure here, so they never meet the warrior. Because even if they're not aware, even if the broken healer is never aware that they are the generational curse breaker, or that their family is fake as fuck, and what they've actually been doing behind the scenes, this healer, the moment that the healer comes into contact or connection with the warrior energy or spirit, the warrior energy or spirit has an automatic cut on for the healer. The energy of the warrior spirit, when it comes into connection with the healer, it automatically puts a protective shield around the healer. So even when the healer, then I'm with the warrior spirit, we have connected, we have met, whether we're friends, in a relationship, married, soul tribe, somebody I've met at work, a best friend, anything like that. The moment that the healer comes into connection with the warrior's energy automatically says shield, right? That's something that the warrior can't help. But the warrior spirit and energy recognizes the healer spirit and energy. So this is automatic. See the equal exchange here. So these two have connected, and now the healer continues to go around the family that they don't know is fake. But the family can no longer trauma dump on that healer. They can no longer keep racking up and accumulating karma out there in the world and stuff, being wicked or whatever they choose to do, and come home or come around the healer and be fake enough to get close enough to the healer to dump all their karma and trauma and burdens off onto the healer, because the warrior energy has now entered into the energetic field of the healer to activate and magnify a protective shield. Even if the healer is not aware of it, even if the warrior is not aware of what their energetic exchange is for each other, or what their paradigm in the connection is here. Okay, so that particular, as a generational curse breaker, and I'm just using this as an example, over time, because you're not aware that this family is aware of who you are, but they don't want you to know who you are. That's one of the big scandals that they do, right? Scams that they pull. They never want you to know that you're the healer. They never want you to know you're the generational curse breaker. So with all the faking, the funk, and all of that, what they plan on doing is continuing to make you absorb, knowing you can't really cut it off. You don't have your shield yet, making you continuously absorb the worst part of their karma, their darkness, their ugliness, their wickedness here. And over time, okay, the healer becomes wounded in such a way where the healer thinks that they're transmuting this energy for the family, or the healer's energy thinks that it is transmuting these dark nights of the soul for the family, that these are things that are inevitable, not realizing that the family is purposefully staying stuck in the dark nights of the soul, or not even going through the dark night of the soul. They're just forcing their darkness out onto the healer. So over time, the healer thinks it's transmuting dark energy into light, but like time wears down on that person. They're not able to heal themselves anymore. They no longer find joy, or it's almost like the life being sucked out of you. Like what once made you happy in your family structure, or once brought you so much love and light in your eyes and stuff like that, and made you light up to seeing other people, it no longer brings you joy. Things don't have the same taste. The healer is dying now. In a sense, the healer's energy is dying. It has been depleted to a point where it cannot be where it cannot regenerate itself. Okay. The issue that this particular, for those of you like that, this read is for, or this message is for, the issue here is the envious rival. Okay? So, law of polarity. Because with the envious rival, I'm trying to... So, for every family that would have a generational curse breaker, every family would also have the opposition of that, the polar opposite of the healer. This would be the destructor, right? The one that loves the darkness. They love wickedness. They love to be evil, okay? They would be the polarizing force. Two people in one family, the generational curse breaker, aka the healer, and the destroyer, the force bringer of destruction. Okay? This is what a lot of people who, if you have found yourself to be a healer, or you're coming into that that realization about yourself, or being a generational curse breaker, a lot of you are realizing that there is a polar opposite of you within the same bloodline who has established in themselves, because I don't feel like it's a universal thing where everything has a polarity, okay? But this is more so like a person realizing early on that you are a healer, and because of their jealous characteristics and traits and stuff, they were just born with hatred in them. This would be the person that if you were born in a bloodline, a family, right? Your close family, if you were born as the healer, you're the light. The light through the dark forest. You're the light through the dark night of the soul. You are the alchemist, the energy transmuter. You are the healer, right? You are the one that operates out of compassion. So everything that the family is not. In order for you to be the generational curse breaker, you have to be born with all of the tools, everything I just named. These are tools and devices for you, and abilities and gifts. You are born with all that in you. So with that being said, also considering the law of polar opposites here, there would be somebody born in your bloodline who would be born with the bulk of the darkness of the family. This would be the person that, if this is a woman sleeping with other people's men, or can't keep a man, or, it would be everything that the generational curses that you are meant to break. This person would embody all of it. There would be one like this in your family. There could be multiple, but there would be exactly one, the polar opposite of the healer. See what I'm saying? This person is meant to, or they have taken on this nasty ass energy to make sure that they are like the hell bringer in your life, that you never get to be a healer, that you never succeed with breaking the generational curses, because in fact they are the embodiment of all the family generational curses. Okay, and home is here. Okay, we definitely have the return home is here. So this could be a person in your family, for quite a few of you in the collective, that has made it their sole purpose and or mission, or they think that their sole purpose and mission is to always be your rival, to always offset the balance for you, to always keep the generational curses going, and even add on to the generational curses here. Okay? With that, the return home energy, this could be talking about because these are my challenge cards, right? This is in my challenge spot, right? This is, I don't know what's been going on with my speech lately, but I'm gonna heal it. I'm gonna fix it. I will. Somebody is somebody in the collective, in your energy, this person's energy that I'm picking up on. They're trying to beat a healer. Home could be a throne. This could be a final destination here. Okay, they're trying to beat a healer to the healer's final destination. The final destination doesn't have to be a physical home or place. The final destination could be this healer or that person actually breaking off all of the generational curses, and then being rewarded with higher spiritual healing abilities and gifts as well, right? But if this it's like if the healer makes it to this particular destination and breaks the generational curses, that would what? That would shift or transform the rival, the polar opposite of what the healer is, right? That would make it, if not impossible, damn near impossible for this person to continue to feed into generational curses because they have been broke. But mind you, this person will be the embodiment of generational curses. They would be everything that the generational curses are made of, right? So this is like this person trying to beat a healer to the throne, or beat a healer to a destination here. But there's an entering here of a warrior spirit. Some type of a warrior spirit or energy has entered into this person's, the broken healer's energetic field here. Okay. Somebody's not going to be like Devin or Dwayne here. Devin, girl Devin. Okay. Or Dwayne. The Phoenix rise. What has burned away, making space for something new? The generational curses, right? What transformations are you stepping into? The transformation would be the healer finally coming into connection with the warrior here. Because once this happens, breaking the generational curses would become, just like I said, the healer can't cut it off when they come into connection with people or in close proximity with people who are unhealed or going through trauma or going through a dark night of the soul. It would become automatic for the healer to not only be protected by the warrior energy, but also to break the generational curses. That would become like it would be like placed on automatic. As much as the healer opens anytime they enter into the vicinity where a generational curse is that they're meant to break off, the generational curse would just simply break because they are protected from the remnants, the ramifications of the generational curses, which would be this dark forest here. And also when this healer gets into the connection or comes into connection or close proximity or union or whatever with the warrior spirit, this person doesn't have a fucking chance here. So this person is trying to continuously cause the healer to have to, it's like, I don't know if this person is doing this from a healer's house. I don't know if this is a family member, but this jealous rival here, the envious rival, they are doing things now to send so much darkness to the healer. It's like they never come out of the darkness here. And they want to run this healer's time clock out to get this healer to a point or where their vibration or energy is so low and there's so much darkness consumed or consuming this healer now that the healer cannot regenerate themselves up, their energy up enough to heal themselves here. Okay? So now that I look at it and I'm like, well, how are they going to do that? They intercept. The envious rival intercept. See the path to home here? The envious rival is trying to intercept. Okay? Intercept the path home by coming into connection or seeking out the warrior energy. And possibly even being a copycat, pretending to be a healer, only so they can. Yes. I see. Oh no.
It makes a noise.
Yeah.
It don't work.
Boy, that boy in robots and transformers, bro. So the envious rival this could be their plan, or they could have already sought out and intercepted on the path a warrior on his pathway to a broken healer to be the protective shield. And they could have did this by pretending to be a healer or a generational curse breaker of a family here. Okay? Somebody tried to destiny swap here. But this is not simply just destiny swap. This is somebody literally doing things. This could be black magic, also heavy scrying energy. Black mirror is significant, but this person could be doing like heavy scrying. Heavy scrying. Somebody could be a real good scryer. The envious rival. Because even though they are the epitome, the embodiment of all the dark family generational curses here, this person would still have gifts too. They would be the polar opposite, but doesn't mean that because they're low vibe, they're negative or wicked, it doesn't mean that they weren't giving gifts too. Okay? Their gift would be destruction at a magnified force. The healer's gift would be healing the destruction on a magnified force. The opposite ends of the same particular thing. That one particular common denominator or thing would be generational curses. See what I'm saying? So somebody intercepted, somebody pretended to be the broken healer, the wounded healer, the generational curse breaker of a home by intercepting the path of a warrior on his way to a broken healer here. So this warrior could then put their protective shield, not realizing, and people can do this, this person has gifts. They have very dark, powerful gifts, or at least they did. Tricking the warrior spirits or energy into believing that they were the broken healer, so the warrior will automatically relinquish the protective shield on this person to protect them from the bullshit that they are accumulating out here in the world, the wickedness, the evil deeds, the everything. They are accumulating that, but the warrior's protective shield, being blinded, being tricked and duped, thinking that this is the healer, the generational curse breaker, is protecting this person from their wicked deeds, but this person is then taking their wicked deeds and sending them onto the broken healer, the generation, the real generational curse breaker. So somebody has intercepted, or they plan on intercepting the path of a warrior. This is the plan, or this is something that has already happened here. Okay. Where are we going? Let's pull. Let me see. There's so much that I could definitely pull on here. Of course, I have my wild cards collective. I haven't pulled on these. We gonna have some fucking fun with these, because I keep bullshitting with those. But beautiful subject. And guess what the next card in here is? Race. A race of time. I'm telling you, a race of time. And there's something about dates being frequencies. So this is my Voice of the Souls Oracle deck. They actually have two other decks similar to these. I definitely would like to get the others here. Because if I'm getting the message, this person has actually actively done this here. And this is what they're doing to a healer. There is some type of, with this time clock here, this father time clock, father time, watch the Sandman, reverse engineering, something going on like that. With that reverse engineering that I picked up on, this will be the equivalent, what this this envious copycat, whoever, what they are doing with the warrior spirit, right? That would be equivalent to reverse engineering. Y'all see what I'm saying? That would be the equivalent to that. So, but I feel like the reason that I'm getting this message is because some type of huge break here, or because also with this person being the envious rival, right? And pretending to be the healer. They're dumping all of their wicked shit, their energy, their everything onto this healer to keep the healer's energy so low, where they would, even if the healer was to come into connection with the warrior spirit and her energy, the warrior spirit or energy would recognize the broken healer, the real one. It would only recognize them because their energy is so low. They're so wrapped up in dank and dark depthness and negative energy and trauma. The warrior spirit would recognize the actual broken healer, the authentic one, as the fucking enemy. They would recognize this one as the karmic energy, the actual embodiment of the generational curse breaker. And I'm serious, and would even attack the healer. This could be a situation like that. But what this person doesn't know is there's always a balance that must be maintained. So you upset the balance, right? This is what people don't take into account when they try to destiny swap, when they try to seal somebody's fate that has a destiny, or intercept or intercede somebody's destiny, or take it over here. They never consider the fact that you upsetting the balance. And we're not just talking about the balance of the law of polarity here in a family structure as far as a generational curse breaker goes, or a healer goes. We're talking about upsetting the balance of the people that are not here. Okay. They upset the balance in the spiritual sense, in the ethereal sense, in the celestial sense, in the underworld sense, on the physical sense, on all senses, right? And I'm going to tell you why. Because so long as this healer cannot regenerate their powerful fucking energy, even with them having reverse engineering. Like I said, the healer has this ability where they come into close proximity. They touch a person, hug a person, sleep with a person. There's no shutoff valve. The protective shield's not there. They don't know that they need to do that. Their energy doesn't know it needs to do that until it comes into connection with the warrior spirit. So the same way that this healer would come into close proximity with people and automatically start fucking absorbing their dark energy to help that pave the way for that person to heal, the healer's energy gets so low vibrational, it's not being protected. It can't regenerate itself to raise its vibration. So now, with that being said, when the healer, now in a sickened or weakened state, or in a degenerative state, The healer comes into proximity with the souls that they were meant to cross paths with, and they were meant to absorb these people's energy, and they still do that. But in turn, the healer is not transmuting this dark energy. So when it's putting the what the healer energy is thinking that it's putting out healing energy to that person that they encounter, it's actually putting out polluted, toxic energy to that person, which would cause such an imbalance where that person was supposed to heal, they never heal. And in fact, if there's a speeding up of their toxicity, their darkness, they go ham in the paint, and the fucking karmic cycles and addictions and whatever the case may be, even mental breaks and stuff here, it has an adverse effects. Now, this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about reverse engineering here of the healer's abilities here. Because and we have light and dark, we will have light, dark, masculine, feminine. And we have light and dark within us, and masculine, feminine. We consider that two things. I consider it four and even more, because I would have a dark masculine and feminine energy. I would have a light masculine and feminine energy. So technically I would have four quadrants of myself. This is what you call quantum cells here. Okay. But that's a story for other days here. So the same way that the healer can be a healer to people that they encounter, when they do not have the tools or the shield that they need, they don't, as part of their destiny in a particular time in the healer's life, they were supposed to come across this protector, the warrior spirit here, and then having their stuff protected. So not only can they heal themselves and keep their energy high, but they go through a level of ascension where now their healing abilities, the radius of the proximity of them coming into connection with people, it expands, it gets bigger here. So usually if this particular healer collective, you have to be in a house with a person to heal them, or you would have to touch them to heal them. As you continue to grow in your healing abilities and you heal yourself here, the radius at which you can heal, it's magnified, it's pushed out, the circumference or radius, okay? It's magnified. So now instead of you having to be in the house with me or touch me, I simply can walk past you in the store, and you can be 2-3 aisles over in the store, and I come into the same store that a person or several people need to be healed, right? And I unknowingly absorb all their dark energy or all the extra shit, the shit they can't handle. I absorb that, and in turn I transmute it and send it back out as positive energy or high vibrational enough energy to help that person complete their dark night of the soul. So with this healer not being able to fucking heal, now I can't turn it off. I go into the store, I come across people, and instead of you being able to, absorbing your dark energy, transmuting it and sending back out healing energy, I am absorbing all the dark energy around me, and my body is being tricked into where it's not operating at its full capacity to transmute that energy into useful healing energy, and all I'm doing is sending back out dark energy. But being a healer, when you send that fucking dark energy back out, it is magnified. Same thing, okay? We're talking about reverse engineering of a spiritual gift here. This person don't realize the remedy. So now I've sent out a magnified version where my healing ability, my ability as a healer, however the mechanism works, I've sent out, as much as I can send out you powerful healing energy, I send out magnified, powerful, dark, destructive fucking energy. Now, a healer can do that. They can destroy as much as they can heal. Okay? So that person, not only are they not able to take on what I tried to absorb or should have and transmute it, but it has come back with a fucking fierceness on that person. This person, they attach to all type of entities on their way home. And I'm sorry, it can be multiple people. entities they weren't supposed to attach to. Maybe if they are a person that had a drink here and there, this person has ramped up the drinking. If this person had any type of mental disorder that they were healing from or anything like that, seeing a therapist, this person stopped going to the therapist. They like start losing their fucking mind. This is what this does, and this is what we talking about upsetting the balance here. Somebody is too stupid. They're too envious and jealous, but they one of the generational curses would be the blindness of this person's jealousy and envy of another here. That's a generational curse. And they don't even consider or take into account the fact that that is upsetting the balance in such a way where they think the end goal, even if they come into connection or being protected by this warrior spirit, they'll destroy the warrior. They'll destroy the home. There will be none to return to, and or the throne. They'll destroy themselves. Okay? Because the balance always for the energies that govern neutrality in the universe, that govern the underworld and the heavenly realms and the ethers and stuff, and they govern it in such a way where they are neutral forces. A person that there's a governing of, there are spirits that govern the different realms and frequencies here. Okay. And all they are meant to do is sit back and observe and make sure that there's an equal equal amount of spirits or souls going into the underworld for that particular portion of their transition. And they are meant to make sure that those in the middle realm or in the in-between never seep out, or that energy from there, the in-between is kind of like a capture realm or a prison. They make sure that those energies never escape and leak into the physical realm or the underworld or in the heavenly realms. And then you have some that dwell in the heavenly realms, and they just watch and make sure that the spirits that are going through that part of their transition, they are ushered in properly, and everything flows properly. This is what you call balance, right? There's no interfering in nothing. These would be the spiritual energies that govern these places that don't interfere. They simply observe to make sure, right? But they also will notice that imbalance has occurred here, because timing, even though it works different on the different realms, they still have an expectancy. I was supposed to, like, if this was a governing person of the underworld, I was expecting this particular soul at this time, earthly time, spiritual time, underworld time, about this time right now, but they are late. They haven't made it. Something's not right. They will automatically realize that there's an imbalance that has occurred. Now, even though they can't interfere, what they do is they hire hellhounds, hitmen, spiritual bounty hunters, seekers. They are typically called seekers. The seekers, death would be a seeker. Death is a neutral force. It just takes and ushers in. But and remember I said final destination. So remember those people, they weren't meant to live. They weren't meant to have kids and all of that. And where death would just be the neutral force that ushers these souls back and forth. It doesn't determine who dies. It just comes get you and does its fucking job. But now death has an imbalance in account of the souls it was supposed to take, observe and usher into the underworld and summon to the heavenly realms here. This is not happening. So death, you have now caused an imbalance in death. Being a neutral force is no longer a neutral force. It is being made to be, and even energies that work alongside the angel of death, they are sent out almost like a fucking spiritual warrant or bounty on whatever it is that is causing the imbalance. And this person has not considered that. This person has not taken that shit into account. This is why you don't fuck with people free will. It's never that deep. It can never be that deep for me, because do people read? Are people consider, like, I have to consider all possibilities in whatever it is that I do and the choices that I make. I have to consider all possibilities. I'm talking about, I think deep into shit. And I'm like, nah, because if I do this, I really want to do it. My flesh is edging me on, but I know the consequences. That's why they be so dire when I do it anyways, whatever it may be. They be so heavy, like the consequences be so heavy. So there's something like a seeker that may be on this person's ass, this envious person here, the problem comes in. And this will cause a further imbalance here. The seeker, there's a possibility that the seekers have not been able to hone in on this person being the cause of the imbalance or the fluctuation here in the neutrality, okay? And the problem is there's a confusion with the energy of them figuring out that this is the culprit here. There's a confusion in it, right? They can clearly establish, a seeker would be able to see and establish that this is the authentic healer, but the authentic healer is pretty sick. Their energy hasn't been able to regenerate itself, and plus they're doing reverse engineering. They're not healing people, they're killing people. And I'm just saying that, you know, trigger warning. They're not actually killing people, but y'all know what I mean, right? The seeker will be able to see this in the healer, but they need to know why. They need to know what is the cause for this effect, okay? I'm big on universal laws, y'all, so excuse me. The cause and effect is this, but because this person has done something, they are protected. They are cloaked in the warrior protective shield. So the seekers they can't detect this person, or they haven't been able to detect this person. And if they are able to detect or even hone in on a specific area, the radius is still too wide for the seekers to actually pinpoint the exact energetic signature, who it's coming from, because it's like once they locate it in a specific area, the signature almost disappears because of the fucking shield. See what I'm saying? But to restore the balance, and this is the fucked up part, a lot of people are not gonna like how this sounds here. To restore the balance here, if the seekers keep honing in on the signal of the culprit, the imbalancer, the cause and effect, the cause of the imbalance here. And this is a huge imbalance. With this return home, we're talking about souls here. This is a huge imbalance. If the seekers keep on honing in on a particular area, even if they can't locate or pinpoint the exact location of this energy, they will keep coming up with the common denominator of this warrior shield, and they will fucking destroy it. Sad but true. Sad but true. This is how restorals of balances happen. A lot of people don't like to hear that. They don't like to consider the fact that this is true. This person don't want to consider it. People that are all loving light and healing, like, no, not the warrior shield. Like, yes, they will destroy it. Because they must destroy it. They have pinpointed at least this signature several times that keeps being found near this signature when they try to locate it before it disappears off the fucking spiritual map or GPS tracking system. This energy keeps popping up. So the seekers may even mistakenly, because mind you, the seekers are still there's still a level of imbalance, which means an imbalance for light, high vibrational beings, dark beings, underworld beings, ethereal beings, beings in the middle, warrior spirits, healers, all alike on every realm. There is an imbalance. It don't just happen. The imbalance don't just happen because this person did something to a healer. It don't just happen to them too and the warrior. It happens to every fucking spirit that was affected by the fucking imbalance. And if push comes to shove, it's kind of like a detonator button. A detonator button or a fail safe. If they keep detecting this energy where the influx is, they will destroy it. They will destroy it. Now let's say that this jealous, envious person is a copycat of the healer and they done married this warrior. They have now put their husband on the fucking chopping block here. There's too much with the time here. It's like the balance will and it must and will be. The imbalance must and will be balanced. Because if the seekers cannot, there are certain energies that are then dispatched to seek and destroy. Period. And we're not talking about the angel of death. There are energies where if the seekers cannot properly do their job and restore balance, in a certain amount of time. Healers are dying. Souls are transitioning. They were supposed to go to the heavenly realm. This one went to the underworld realm, or they never come. They never make it. They take out other people's lives because they done lost their minds here. It's too much of an imbalance. So as they fucking fail say, the seekers, if they are not able to seek it out, the problem in time, there are fail-safe energies that are sent out to seek and destroy. The first thing they're going to do is seek and destroy this. They're not going to seek and destroy the healer, but if the healer is already dying themselves because they can't regenerate their healing energy for themselves. So they know that's not the problem. This is one way you know it's not the problem, okay? Everything has bro, and this is how you know people don't, before they dibble and dabble into that occult knowledge and magic and spell books and shit, this is how you know people don't do their research. Because this is me telling y'all this shit based off of common sense of me reading the universal laws. I can take that and apply those to anything in life. And my common sense tells me this is the conclusion I've come up to. But they will destroy this warrior energy who was never meant to be destroyed. This will be a further imbalance, but it will be the balancing of, because once they destroy this warrior energy here, and I mean seek and destroy, there's no if, ands, or buts. There's no we locate this energy and then we ask questions. No, seek and destroy. But once the warrior is gone, this person is up Shit's Creek. The warrior's energy protective shield is gone. There's a jealous rival out here, envious rival. They need to know this because somebody got some seekers on their ass. And I feel like that the reason why the clock came out, okay? There's too much darkness. It's like darkness has grown past a certain level here. It's much. And it's not supposed to be that way. That's the imbalance here. And time is running out, or time is almost over. They can't let the darkness consume the light. They can never let it get so imbalanced where the darkness consumes the whole of the light. They can never let it get like that. So if there are still seekers out, the seekers are almost out of time to locate and pinpoint. Or the seekers have ran out of time and they have already dispatched the seeker and the seek and destroys. Okay? This person is not aware of that shit. They're so blinded with hatred and fury and making it to a destination. Also, with that imbalance, there will be no destination for this person. If they think that they're going to be the healer to their throne, their power, their destiny, their something about a home, a destination here, it won't even be there. Okay. Pull a couple on these energies. Man, listen. Split the deck collective, Vision Quest, and the Time Master. I did have, and the Blade. I cannot make this shit the fuck up. Seek and destroy. That's the overall energy. But I don't know with the whole Phoenix Rising here. Ugh, excuse me. Ugh, good Zoom type. Freaking A. Because I was in these, right? The bottom deck, the bottom card is Secrets, right? You. Not you, collective, but this could be about you. The you could be the envious rival. It could be the warrior energy. These are the three energies here. Major energies. Okay? Swords. So it will be like... Okay. So the seekers have, it has already been determined by the elders and the seekers here that this is the true, genuine, authentic healer. Okay? and that the energy of this healer is dwindling. This healer's power will be restored. They will still be able to move forward in what it is that they were destined to do, right? But you have two lives that could possibly be lost, because other lives could possibly be lost in a certain manner. Somebody is going to be in heavy regret by source. And burden of tears. Somebody, this envious rival definitely could have, like if this was a divine union, this warrior, let's say this warrior, this masculine, feminine energy, whatever, the warrior and the healer, they were meant to get married here and be a divine couple here. And if this envious person, they interfered or intervened in the path here and married this warrior, or came into connection with this warrior energy and married this warrior energy under the guise of being a healer or their divine counterpart, this warrior may pass away. And I'm just telling the truth. They very well may pass away. Any messages from the voice of the soul, Oracle? Oh, okay. Loss. Oh, okay. And that's free game. They said that's free message, free game. And I hear it's almost time. Somebody is about to suffer a funeral here. Bro, time master, the curse. Do you hear me? Somebody may suffocate in their sleep here, or maybe feeling like they've been suffocated in their sleep. Yeah, because they being hunted the fuck down by the seekers and destroyers, bro. I cannot make this shit up. The hummingbird, to restore balance here. The lightheartedness of this healer, to restore their energy so that they can heal and get things back going, to restore the balance of the upper, middle, and lower realms here. The Indian cross talks about the connection, the conductivity of the connection of how spirits and souls transit from one realm to the other. That's the balance here. The Indian cross. And that's what this means in this particular deck. In case anybody wants to know. The circle here, what's that circle energy? Because that's not completion. The circle could be like a wheel of fortune here, but we're talking about bad luck here, or restoring the balance, to restore a destiny of a healer here. Yeah, before time runs out. There's something here about time, very, very, very significant. Look at, wow, I don't know if this warrior energy is about to like kick the bucket or what, but this masculine, this warrior energy could be very sick right now. And this envious rival, this copycat, fucking fake ass, fraudulent, flodget ass bitch. I said what I said. I said what I said. They know that this masculine is sick. Even if this masculine isn't aware or like physically sick, their vessel is sick. And how this person knows that is because they are being weakened. If this person was doing like beauty magic, siphoning this warrior's energy, or doing like glamour magic, siphoning this healer's energy to heal themselves, to make themselves look younger, age backwards, to look like this person, is fading quickly. It's no longer lasting as long. The spells, the glamour magic and all that, it's no longer lasting as much as it used to, which means there's a problem with the shield. There's a problem with the shield. The cloak, so to speak. The middle world. Ego of a noble person. Nobility here of the Indian cross. Nobility of the balance. Like the balance is not for the greater good of just this healer. It's for the greater good of everybody, light and dark alike. Anubis and Seth and all of them down there, they have a certain level of balance. Even if they're the kings and lords of the darkness, they have a certain level of balance to maintain with the spirits and the souls and the transients of that particular realm, so that it does not seep over into any other realm here. The sweat lodge. I told you, like seeping over, one realm seeping over into another realm. Further imbalance here. Okay. And look, soul retrieval. This masculine could be sweating profusely. They may have like their health could have took like a very big dip lately. Confirmation. I hate when I do that. Cause I just think that my spirit guys, they just want to make me look unladylike by burping and stuff on camera. So I just really feel that way. But whatever. Yeah, the wind energy, a change in events, a change in direction of events or circumstances here. Somebody that helped them took a turn for the worse. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know here. This warrior energy, this could be a person that believes in the faith of samurai, so seppuku. Okay? Dying with honor still. Not dying by the weakness or being weakened by the illness or something. They'd rather take their life and keep their nobility with that ego here, keep their warriorism, keep their honor here. So this person may believe heavily in seppuku, or they may be thinking of that. With the spiral, okay? And the staff. Like somebody, I'm telling you, this person's power is dwindling. They sick. And in turn, this envious rival person, copycat, they are sick. They are getting sick. Or whatever things that they were doing to protect themselves from their wicked deeds is not working anymore. The sorcerer. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. The staff and the sorcerer. Oh, okay. Give me more on this envious rival. And it always does that, doesn't it, collective? And we have 3. The envious rival. Oh. And then the worst part of it all is because what she has done. This bitch will go on the book of forgotten names with the soul retrieval in the reverse. This is like if this bitch dies from all this sorcery and magic and shit once this man's shield fails. Because he may not pass away. He just may get so sick to a point where he is hospitalized and his shield is no longer active. The divine may snatch this masculine's energy or shield away from them here. Where they are hospitalized. She will have no protection. But not only that, the seek and destroyers, once they find this bitch there, it's not just soul retrieval. It's like a bitch her name will be in the book of forgotten names, which means she doesn't get a reincarnation, which means she doesn't get another chance to accumulate or reacclimate her spirit with her soul. Never. Because of the magnitude of the generational curses that she embodies, the magnitude of the people, the souls that lost their lives, or people that lost their lives that weren't supposed to, people who didn't make it to their final destination here, a healer being sick, and a warrior possibly losing their life. And then the generational curses not being broken off of a bloodline who is probably imprisoned in the spiritual realm, waiting for the curse to be broke so they can be released. You see what I'm saying? Somebody is going to go in the book of forgotten names. And if you don't know, it's an underworld thing. Okay? Yeah. For being a snake. Cannot make it up. Total darkness. I cannot. The sun. Total darkness. Total darkness. And this person has been crying. This jealous, envious rival here. They could be a water sign here, a very unbalanced water sign. I will pull one or two tarots for each energy at the end. They could be listen. If this person, whether they are a water sign or whatever, somebody being hunted. The hunter. Somebody is being hunted. So I'm telling you, somebody finna go. Somebody finna, with that completion, that's over. Life expectancy, over. And with this, the sun in the reverse, the serpent, and the soul retrieval, This envious rival, they may be one of the spirits that are bound. They will no longer, if your book, the book of forgotten names, you will no longer be considered human or be able, eligible to ever have a human experience to accumulate your soul or reacclimate your soul with your spirit, with your higher self. You will not get a reincarnation. You will not get another time to clear out karmic cycles here. You will be bound in the in-between. And I spoke a little bit on the in-between before, but this is how spirits, some get stuck in the in-between. They get bound, casted out there. Okay? And then there are other things that there are no governors in the in-between. There are no governing spirits in the in-between. There are just ones that have no bounds, no rules, no anything. This person will be a tortured soul, and they will be forgotten in the family bloodline. Water and the upper world here, okay? The rainmaker, the hummingbird. Healing waters are significant for somebody. Many paths, this could be like a river, or this could be like a river with many streams here. Yeah, standstill is here. Possibly like a waterfall or something. Waterfall that goes up into a standing water, very healing waters here. That's for somebody. Okay. Warrior spirit. Give me the warrior. The giveaway. This person may be called to, they may be sick. But on their deathbed here, this is like this person being on the precipice of dying. They may not transition, but this is when you are not in the in-between, in the land of forgotten, as I like to call it. But this is when you're still in the physical realm here, and your spirit, you start being able, you're on your sick bed here, so sick, in a weakened state, and you can see into the other realms here. This person may be allowed, their soul, their spirit may be allowed to sacrifice here. Sacrifice this person after the information is revealed to this person. But this is like before they transition, or giving them the opportunity to not transition, because this person was duped, okay? On their journey, okay? They were duped. They also gave away their power unknowingly. This is a witch, and this is a dark ass witch. And I don't even want to say that. I don't need no problems and stuff like collective, y'all know, but we touch on sensitive subjects here. This is a dark ass witch, but this witch could be a trans. So this is a warlock, transgender turned dark witch, or dark high priestess that has duped the man, did some type of witchcraft on a masculine energy. Even if this is not their husband, this could just be somebody that they got into friendship with, business with. It could be anything. But they duped this person. They did some dark shit to this person to have this person give up their power, or give up going on a path. Because I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Like, this person had already thought that they came into connection with their other half here. That's the only way I know how to say it. And I'm not trying to talk about this person, this masculine energy. I'm not trying to talk about his sexuality. This masculine very well may not be aware that this is a trans, bro. And I don't know if this is this same King of Cups water sign that I picked up on before. This is a transgender right here. And this man is not aware that this is a transgender. And the sickness that this masculine is embodying right now could be something that they got from this trans. But this person is going to get a time prior, like right before the transition phase from their deathbed, their sick bed. They will get the opportunity to be restored in some kind of way. I don't know which way that is, to sacrifice this person, this woman. Pachamama, we're talking about Pachamama could be considered the divine. It could be considered the spiritual realm. It could be considered if you are connected to Deva, anything. Pachamama would just be another name for the divine, or somebody's spiritual guides, but also somebody is like high, very high ranking spiritual. It's not even the spiritual council. This would be like, if the balance itself, if the balance itself were an actual entity or energy, a high vibrational energy, the balance which could be water, like the conductor between the different worlds, right? The conductor, the trend, the plasma fluid that allows for the souls to traverse from one realm to the other, fluidly or seamlessly or flawlessly. They just float, right? Technically, water could be considered the Pachamama. It would be an entity. It would be an omnipresent entity, right? Omnipresent type of high-ranking spiritual primordial essence. The waters in the heavens can be considered a Pachamama, okay? The waters on the earth can be considered, in the oceans and the seas, again, rivers, streams, could be considered a part of Pachamama, right? The fluid, the conductor, the plasma that allows for the different energies from the different realms to go where it is that they need to go, allowing a balance or an even kilter or a flow to always occur and never be interfered with. So something real significant about water here, okay? And then taming the wind. Okay, give me more on this, the broken healer energy. The broken healer. Well, damn. The broken healer will not suffer the curse, and they are not being stopped. I'm telling you, the seekers have already determined that the broken healer, even if the broken healer is having the adverse effect on people, the souls they encounter, they have already determined that it's not the healer. They're not going to stalk the healer. The healer will not be cursed. And if this envious rival did curse this healer, the curse has been relinquished off of this healer here. Okay? With the wild woman here, to free this healer up, to free the healer's energy up, to allow it to go through its regeneration process here. They may have to even reassign a different warrior energy or spirit to be a part of this healer's path here. Yeah, to restore nobility of the balance. To restore nobility of the balance. Oh, this reading's been so long. There's an emperor energy. I'm telling you, that has taken a health. Their turn, man, bro. Like, their health has taken a turn for the worse. I don't know who this is, because of Queen of Pentacles energy. Who's the Queen of Pentacles? Eight of Pentacles. One more. Two of Cups. The person that is this warrior spirit was working with. So this envious rival could be a Queen of Pentacles, earth sign. She could be very money led, very greedy, very very conceited, very self-absorbed here. Definitely that. And okay. So the seppuku, it technically only seppuku occurs if it's self-inflicted, but in this sense, and we think of it in a spiritual sense, the seppuku also referred to this masculine sacrificing this woman to restore his honor and nobility and health here. Okay? Yeah, by calling judgment on this jealous, envious rival that is a Queen of Pentacles. Okay? Yeah, so this masculine can reclaim his strength and warriorism and courage. I cannot make this shit up. End result. No matter of fact, give me the return home. return home, and then strength and courage. So this return home is talking about this masculine's vessel here, but the restorer of the broken healer and the warrior's vessel, their honor here, their courage, their strength, right? Their strength to overcome here. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. This man don't know that this woman is a transgender. I'm telling you. And like, somebody don't know. But somebody, what the fuck? Oh no, we ain't finna go that deep into it. Yeah, nah, we ain't finna go that deep into it. So this warrior energy, whether it be a king of wands, whoever, a knight of wands, whatever. The knight of wands is this trans. I'm telling you what I love. The king of wands could be the warrior spirit. But this king of wands, family, no. They are the ones that hired and contracted and sought this damn transgender out. Or this transgender sought out the family and worked with them to connect with this masculine. The family know that this is a trans, bro. But I cannot make this shit up. Because he could have been a generational curse breaker himself as well. With the Two of Cups, the world of Two of Cups, I'm telling you. Whoo, these motherfuckers wild out here in this energy. Yep, man, Page of Cups. Page of Cups. Okay, warrior energy. Give me more on... I already did warrior. Give me more on this time. The ticking clock and the dark forest here. The ticking clock in the dark forest here. Baby, the way that shit's skirting out, somebody on this bitch ass. Because the last two cards, they fell right here upside down on my knee, right near this jealous, envious rival. Man. Okay. People were aware that this is a trans. I don't know if they told this masculine, if he knew. I don't know, but aware that that was a transgender, bro. A transgender, a transition. We talking about transition. Somebody transitioned. Empress in the reverse to the Six of Swords. Somebody is a trans, bro. I cannot make this shit up. Three of Cups with the death. Man. If somebody done found this out and now they're sick, they gonna sacrifice this person. Period. Period. Hell yeah, man. I cannot make this shit up. Pay attention to this picture. You see how one, even if you can say one look older, one younger, one look older, but nah, one has more feminine features and the other has more masculine features. Bro, this is trans. I don't know nobody say. The ticking clock. Yep. That shit almost over with. There's a seeker and destroyer. Either the seekers are about to give up. I'm telling you. So they can protect or restore a balance here. That dark forest energy, King of Cups. Like I said, man, this may be the same read here. It's something else going on here. The dark forest with the Page of Pentacles. Somebody gonna give somebody up. Somebody gonna give somebody up. Whatever these energies are, they coming for this. Whoever this. All right, I guess that's it. We got Nine of Pentacles here. Yeah, somebody wants to be a woman. And somebody didn't tell nobody. They come off as a woman. I'm telling you. They come off as a woman. We got the Five of Cups in the reverse. The Five of Cups says hope, opportunity, rekindle. Oh, the dark forest. love, good news, acceptance, new relationships, restore an old relationship. Okay? After this person gives this person up, and then Knight of Cups. That's that healing energy, romantic healing energy. But somebody got to give somebody up. And this masculine could have loved this feminine, or they just could have been in business together. This could be this. Again, they were duped. Because if you ask me, that's black magic. And this is nothing against nobody of the faith, nobody that's a trans, nobody that's of the community. If you have an actual change and you go towards a man that you are fully aware is a fucking straight man here, and you pretend to be a woman, you do not disclose or divulge to that man that you used to be a man, or you used to be the same sex as he is, and then you have some type of connection with that person. Y'all done had a business, y'all been dealing with each other on any type of level here. That is black magic. You have robbed somebody of their free will of choice. It's black magic. So I'm going to go ahead and release those energies back to their respective places here. And this is why this person is going to go into the book of forgotten names. Ancestors of my highest good. Man, bro, look what's sticking out, bro. Look what's sticking out. Shit, like, what's this? Man, look, the silent curve. I cannot make this shit up. Crossroads. Boy, my spirit team, the worn shoes of a man. A man. The fire trial. I'm telling you, somebody is not. They will never have another opportunity here. The tower, the glass, nigga, like, how's I'm supposed to say this shit? This is a trance. And somebody did this shit foul. The worn shoes of a man, the fire trial here, the tower, and the glass slipper. Do y'all see that? And mind you, Crossroads came out. Crossroads came out. Man to a woman. Okay? Man shoes, woman shoes. Man, I cannot fucking make it up. Somebody is going in the book of forgotten names. That's wow. The window of possibilities to the lost child. Somebody going in the book of forgotten names, and they will be paged around in the in-between. Man, bro. Man. Whoo! Ancestors of my highest good, spirit guides, archangels of my highest good, highest self as well. I say unto you, I call upon your energies at this time to help me release all these energies back to their respective places with love and light. And please restore balance within my energy, my energetic field. Please heal and seal all leaks and cracks and crevices in my auric field and subtle body. Please close all windows, doors. Please close all window doors and portals to and from my energy. As my energy is being restored back to me to a balance of equilibrium, please magnify my protective shield from all energies that have been mentioned in here. If they are attached to any negative or low vibrational energies, Ashe, so mote it be. And so it is. Yeah, somebody being stalked. It's OVA for this person. So collective, that was the energetic read. I love y'all. If the message resonated, please hit the like and subscribe button at the very least for your girl. Always check out the community tabs. Thank you to all those that have donated. And if you would like to donate or make a donation, you can find my link to any of my Cash Apps. I have two. Or I took off Venmo, but in the community tab. Other than that, energetic love and donations via like and subscriptions are always welcome and much appreciated. And until next time, collective, as I always like to say, don't let this world define you. Define yourself like I define me, because I'm your girl, Shay, the dual alchemist, your dual nature being that loves being of service to the collective and giving you the messages. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.